Teddy, we've got to get your first reaction then to that victory. 6-2. It's not a bad way to start things off.
Yeah, fantastic. I thought the team approached the game in the right manner. Went right for the throat very early on. Got the breakthrough early on. I know there was a little bit of a delay with, which makes people a little bit nervous, 15 minutes. But it was a lovely start to England's campaign. Let's put it that way.
Terry, tell me about the younger lads. I mean, we were talking about them early on. They just seem to have a real maturity and a likability about them. I'm talking about obviously Bellingham, who I thought was absolutely outstanding, mate. Declan Rice, I think, is a terrific player. Boys like Saka and Mount, they've got a humility, and as I say, no shortage of talent. But they're likeable, aren't they?
Yeah, but I think it's all down to the way Gareth's treating them as men. It was very similar to the way Terry Venables treated us in Euro '96. He had a way of making you feel comfortable in your environment, but also telling you were the best players in the country, so go out and show it. And I'm sure that sort of thing is rubbing off on Gareth, and those things, when you go to talk to somebody, you remember how you was talked to when you was in the squad as a player. And I think he's just passing on that to the younger players and letting them know that they're in a privileged position and to go out and really cherish what they're doing.
It was Jude Bellingham that opened up the scoring, and as we've seen, he had a tremendous performance all round. Having played the game for so long as you did, Teddy, you must have seen players emerging as youngsters coming into squads. What do you make of Jude Bellingham, and in terms of where would you rank him perhaps as one of the younger players to play for England?
Yeah, it's a tough one when you're trying to rank someone when they've only played one game and it's a game that we were expected to win. So, the jury's still out. But what we've seen so far was fantastic. I'm the same as Ali. I thought he was brilliant yesterday. Not just scoring the goal and getting forward, which was a brilliant trademark sort of header. I've seen him score goals like that for Dortmund before. But just in his overall play, he's easy one-touch stuff in midfield, winning challenges, not looking for the glory pass after that, just keeping it, ticking it over, giving it to Declan, giving it to Mount in front of him, and let them get on with it. I thought it was a very composed performance by the young man.
Yeah. Teddy, I wanted to ask you about Harry Maguire, how you rate his performance, and did he silence the haters he's got?
Listen, I've been trying to defend Harry for a long time now. I think up at Manchester United, it looks like they haven't worked on their back four for about 5 years. And when you're playing in a back four and your left back is 30 yards in front of you and your right back is 40 yards the other side of you, and you're trying to play alongside in a unit in a back four, I think it's very difficult. Any centre half would have come under scrutiny over the last few years. When he plays with England, you can tell they work on their back four. He's allowed to say to Shaw, "Oi, where are you going? Come and sit in here next to me. Don't let them score for the next 10 minutes." It's, when you're playing in a unit, it is so much easier. And he's got Stones alongside him, who he knows how he plays. That's in his little area. He knows Pickford. Pickford's a good talker as well. And that's what playing in a back four is all about. So I know there's been question marks out about Harry, but when you're a good player, when you're a top player, you don't lose everything overnight. So I've always had faith that he'll come back and be strong in that position.
It was, Teddy, a superb performance, a comfortable victory for England, but there were a couple of controversial decisions, that being the lack of a penalty for England and the penalty for Iran. Harry Maguire obviously involved in the penalty that wasn't given to England. What did you make of both of those decisions? Do you think, first of all, Maguire, that was a penalty should have been given?
Well, I'm with Ali. I listened to Ali earlier and I said, well, if the Harry Maguire one isn't given in the first half, you cannot give that one in the second half. That is just ridiculous. I mean, he's been manhandled, Harry Maguire's being manhandled, and the one late on for them is a slight shirt pull with a little bit of grappling going on. So, if you put the two of them up there and said, right, judge, which one's the penalty and which one's not, I think I know which one I'd go for.
Yeah, 100%. Ted, because you got three strikers on the settee and you, that's four of us here. Yeah. I mean, how does Harry Kane feel this morning? Is he happy or sad? And also Callum Wilson squaring it for Grealish. I'm thinking shoot. We all did. I'm shooting now. You, Teddy. Before you answer the question, I'm sitting watching the highlights last night with Righty. Right, we're watching it, and Callum Wilson goes through, and as he squares it to Grealish, Righty looks at me, and I look at him, and he went, "You'd have shot." I went, "So would you have."
Yeah. I would have. I couldn't believe he squared it. He was in. He's got his chance. I'm thinking, go on, bury it.
Yeah. What do you think Alan Shearer would have done if I was inside him?
He's hitting that all day. Don't worry about that, Teddy. He's hitting it all day. But I thought Harry's performance. I mean, clearly, he lives in his goals. We know that, and I don't have any doubt he'll be slightly disappointed he's not scored any of the six. However, a couple of his passes, particularly for Sterling's goal, and the one he takes a touch and releases Rashford even, he'll be delighted with his overall performance, but slightly disappointed he never scored.
Well, this is the selfish point of view as a striker. You know, when everybody's seen that, if you haven't seen the game and it's like, right, England have won 6-1, oh, how many did Harry Kane score? 2, 3? You just expect that. So when they say, no, he didn't score, you can imagine how Harry Kane feels. He's delighted. That's what he brings to the party. He can make goals. He leads the line so well. But yes, he will be disappointed that he didn't score in that kind of selfish way.
We did see Kane go off, though, didn't we, in the second half? And there was seems to be a suggestion that he was walking with slight strapping after the game over his right ankle. If he wasn't to play against the USA on Friday night, how much of a concern would that be? Bear in mind, do we have anyone? It's only really Callum Wilson and maybe Marcus Rashford that could come in to replace him. And would you be happy with either of those doing a similar Kane job?
Well, obviously Callum Wilson would play that role. If you know, he's been doing very well for Newcastle at the time at this season, and he leads the line in a similar manner to Harry Kane. I would have brought your man Ivan Toney along just in case of Harry Kane getting injured, but he's not there, so you've got to deal with it with what you've got. And I think Callum Wilson showing how he can fit into the team and the ethics of what Gareth portrays, you know, could have shot to get himself off the score on the score sheet, but he laid off a lovely ball, and we're doing it for the England team, you know, and so he's fitted in quite well, and I don't think Gareth would have any problem in sliding in there in place of Kane.
Teddy, we've got Ali here, Dean. We've had callers today come on and say it's not coming home. I'm believing I might be going early, but how do you feel, mate? Do you feel that this team's got a chance?
See, before you answer before you answer the question, Teddy, if that mob are 20th in the world, right, I'll eat my heart.
True. You can't really have a bearing on how we've beaten Iran, and I'm with you. 20th, I'm not so sure. I don't know how they've got in there, but when you look at what Gareth's done over the last six or so years, there's a camaraderie there that they feel that they're going places, and that will give them huge confidence. I know it was against a team that were there to be beaten, but will give you a huge confidence. And I've got a vibe that I think they want to go. They feel they should. They're expected to. The pressure's kind of off being out in Qatar. I've got a funny feeling that they will go all the way. I like what I see at the moment and the way they play as a team. I like Saka. I know he's a gooner. I shouldn't say it out loud, but I like what he gives the team. I think he's just ahead of Foden in his coolness in front of goal. I like the fact that you've still got Foden and Grealish to come on in this team, that you can change things up. I think we've got a bit of everything in the team, and Rice is phenomenal for me in midfield. Adding with him, Bellingham now looks very composed. I'm excited.
Well,
love that, Teddy.
For that reason, Teddy, you definitely have to come back on, because that's got us all very excited. From an England perspective, if you're an England fan, that is. It's great to chat to you, Teddy. Thanks for sparing the time.
Cheers, Teddy. Have a good day.
Cheers, everyone. Bye.
That's Teddy Sheringham, then, the former England striker, joining us to give us his thoughts on England's opening win of this World Cup. What was really interesting about what he had to say about Harry Maguire, not necessarily perhaps being coached properly at Manchester United and very different maybe at in the international setup with England. Could that be where it's kind of gone wrong for him on the club scene?
Well, he just let's be honest about it, he looks far more comfortable at international level than he does at club level. Well, clearly he's not been playing at club level. So whether Ten Hag doesn't, fancy him long term or not, time will tell regarding that. But if you're looking at Harry Maguire at international level and Harry Maguire at club level, it just looks like two different players.
He has got Phillips and Rice in front of him when he was doing well for England instead of Fred and McTominay.
Yes.
So that helps as well.
McTominay's a good player. You don't like McTominay?
He's not bad, good lad. But Man United, you know about Man United?
Is this a Scottish thing?
Back up McTominay, mate.
I'll tell you what, but you look at Maguire yesterday, and I said yesterday, I don't know whether you agree or not, and it works out perfect. Yesterday was a great game for England. Before the game I'm talking about it's a great game for England, it's a great game for Harry Maguire. Iran's a perfect opposition for him, and that's the way it turned out. Gareth's day could not have gone any better, even to the extent the substitutions he makes come in and add something to the party as well.
And us getting a draw with the USA now, he must be thinking, right, we're playing the USA under adversity yesterday, they cracked, so if we get at the USA it's all over. I can rest some players against Wales, hopefully.
Played on 23s.
Hopefully.
Oh, look at you from a Wales perspective. That's what you want, certainly.
Gareth, play your best team, Gareth. Play your best team.